This is Cardinal Caravan in Rolla, Missouri. Stan Stevens along with Mike Claiborne, Cardinal broadcaster. Mike, good to have you along.
Good to be here. Good to be here in Rolla.
Well, Mike, how many years been in the broadcasting business?
Starting in February to be year 32.
32.
32 years, and had a great time. Been part of Super Bowl teams, World Series teams, and it's been a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Mike, tell us a little bit about the 2013 Cardinals. That's such great chemistry. You had some very experienced players, good clubhouse attitude. Everything seemed to work very well for the Cardinals. Some of those players aren't going to be back. Beltran, Freeze, etc. How's that going to affect the 2014 Cardinals?
Well, I don't know if it's going to affect it as much because we've got some other leaders on this ball club. These guys they didn't need a rah-rah guy. They had a lot of guys who had been there at a very young age. They've certainly accounted for themselves in postseason play. So I'm not sure if it's going to be as much of a challenge or a concern. These guys are real professionals, and they don't let things get too far out of hand.
What about the Cardinals starting pitching? We won't say dilemma because it really is a nice thing to have so many guys in the bucket, you might say. But where do you think that's going to go in spring training? There's going to be a lot of competition, isn't there?
A whole lot of competition. When you think about it, we're going to have at least 8 guys vying for 5 spots in the rotation. And I think that you'll see Wainwright and Waka certainly in the rotation. I think Shelby Miller is pretty much a lock. And then after that, you've got Garcia, you've got Martinez, you've got Joe Kelly, you've got Kevin Segras. You know, you're going to have a lot of guys that feel like they're good enough to start. So it's going to be a really nice dilemma. But one of the things I've learned over the years, you never have enough good pitching. I mean, there's always something that's going to happen. So let's keep our fingers crossed we don't have any injuries, but it's good to know that you've got a lot of good players.
But there was nothing wrong with our bullpen and utilizing all the talent that the Cardinals had that could be starters and putting them in the bullpen, especially Martinez. What an awesome showing he had last year, especially in the playoffs.
He was terrific. I mean, he's got that really live fastball, threw some really good curveballs as well. He's just got so much potential. And we'd heard about it, but to see it on a stage like we saw in the big leagues, and especially in postseason play, was phenomenal.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got some new players coming in. We got Peter Burgess, we got Johnny Peralta, and Mark Ellis coming in. These are talented players. These guys have great history behind them. Tell us what you think about that.
Well, Burgess, from everyone that I've talked to, they say he's the best center fielder, or one of the best center fielders in the game. He's very fast. He catches everything that's hit to him. He fills up the gaps extremely well. He had some injury problems in Anaheim. So we'll see if he can stay healthy, but I think he'll certainly feel the need. John Jay played pretty well.
Sure.
He had a hiccup or two along the way, but everybody has that. But it certainly gives the Cardinals a little bit more stability. Johnny Peralta can swing the bat with any shortstop in baseball. Obviously, he had a suspension, but that's now behind him. So I look at him to be a little bit more consistent from the offensive standpoint as a shortstop. Defensively, just catch what's hit to you. Turn the double play. Don't worry about trying to be Ozzie.
Not many can be Ozzie.
and Mark Ellis is just really one of those glue guys that keeps everybody together. He and Matt Holliday were together in Oakland for a brief period of time, and Matt just raves about him, and everyone else who knows him just thinks he's such a class guy, and most people say he is what a Cardinal would be all about. So I'm looking forward to watching him go to work.
When you look at this Cardinal lineup for 2014 with the infield of Adams and Colton Wong or Ellis, and then Peralta and Carpenter on the infield, then you look at the outfield with Holliday, Burgos, or John Jay, and then you got Clark, and then you got Big Allen over there in right field. Wow, what kind of lineup is that when you put it on the field every day?
A lot of offense, that's for sure. They don't have any holes. There's no question. And we forgot about Yadier Molina, who's the best catcher in the game. The one concern I think this team might have is what are they going to do coming off the bench? That was a concern last year. Now, Shane Robinson stepped up late in the season, did some nice things. I think you like to have a little bit more power from the right side. So we'll see if somebody can come in and win a job in spring training.
Well, Mike, we appreciate some time with us at the Cardinal Caravan to come in. That's Mike Claiborne. I'm Stan Stevens, and this is the Cardinal Caravan on Local 6.